our Honorable Principal Ma'am, respected coordinators, and dear scholars. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the wonders of aviation. Today, we gather to marvel the innovations, achievements, and adventures that have shaped the aviation industry. From the pioneers who dared to dream of flight to the modern-day innovators pushing the boundaries of possibility, aviation has come a long way, inspiring the generations. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our keynote speakers and exhibitors, Senior Manager Air Traffic Controller in Airports Authority of India, Ma'am Amita Pandey, and Mr. Vishal Raj, Manager in Air Traffic Control in AAI, who have arrived here to share their knowledge and passion with us. Ma'am Amita has joined in AAI in 2010. Her first posting was in Bangalore for 9 years. Then she was posted in Mopa. She is also posted in CATC, Combined Annual Training Camp, Prayagraj as an instructor. She passed the IERT, Prayagraj Electronics Branch in 2008. She is an alumna of reputable CrossFit Girls School College, Prayagraj. Sir Vishal is a proud alumnus of MPVM who passed out this prestigious institution in 2004. He graduated from IERT, that is Institute of Engineering and Rural Technology, Prayagraj, in 2009. Since 2011, he has been functioning in AAI, that is Airports Authority of India. His first posting was at Salem Airport. Then, for 8.5 years, he was posted in Varanasi Airport. After that, he is presently an instructor at CATC Prayagraj. He is also from Electronics Branch. Now, I cordially invite Ma'am Amita to encourage our children with some wonders of aviation. Ma'am, please.
Introduction of mine and my colleague Mr. Vishal Raj, and it's my pleasure to be here to be with you. And I mean, some of you may go in aviation industry, so I may be looking at the future aviation enthusiasts. So now, when I say aviation, what do you think? What comes in your mind?
You know, that is Shankar, follow my Telugu.
So anyone? Aviation? What do you think when you hear the word aviation? I think most of you must be thinking, yeah. Airlines, right? Most of you must be thinking airlines and aircrafts, right? And if you see, if you have to choose any profession among aviation, you must be thinking what? Pilots, right? They are the front face of the aviation. But let me tell you one thing, that aviation is not only about pilots and airlines. Of course, they are the main part, but there are many other people who are working in collaboration to make them fly from one place to another place. So today we are going to see those people. Okay? So before we dive into our aviation journey, let's see how it began. So, do you know any of you know that which was the first Yeah, Wright brothers, right. Wright brothers, they were the people who first invented the powered aircraft, motor powered aircraft. Before that, there were concept of lighter than air aircraft. So lighter than air aircraft means there will be a gas which is lighter than air. It can be helium or anything. But Wright brothers first introduced this concept of, and when did they do that? 903, right? 903, and in 904 they have invented a full motor powered aircraft, right? And this aircraft was not used for commercial purpose till 1911. Till 1911, aircrafts were not used for commercial purpose. In World War I, aircrafts were mostly used for dropping the bombs and all. But yeah, after that, aviation really took off. This is the, and any of you know that what was the commercial flight which was flown in India, first flight? Commercial first flight in India. Anyone? Raise your hand. I want to see. Yeah, tell me. In the corner, yeah. Air India. Okay, that is passenger flight. Anyone else? It was not passenger flight, first one. No? Air India. No, Indigo came very late. It's not Indigo, right? It was.
Caller from Allahabad only.
No. Stop talking and listen to me. How? Anyone know that how all of you are from Allahabad? So you must feel proud that your first flight in India took off from Allahabad to Naini. It was very small leg, only 9.7 kilometers, and it was not a passenger flight, it was a cargo flight. No, commercial infial. It was carrying 6,500 mails.
It was a mail flight, okay, carrying mails. You can say commercial flight, okay. How many of you were aware? No one.
So now you have one more thing to be proud of. Your first flight in India to go from Allahabad to Naini. Okay? It was flown by pilot Henry Bouquet. Next one. Now first commercial passenger flight. That was Air India. That what you said. It was Air India, and it took off from Mumbai and landed in Trivandrum. Okay? So that is the history of aviation in India. I mean, first flights in India. And this happened in 1932. Your first passenger flight was flown in 1932. So you see, here you can see few pictures. Who can tell me what is the middle one? Yes, that is air traffic control tower. Okay? Who sits there in air traffic control tower? Who sits there? People, of course, but who? What is their designation? What they are called? Air traffic controllers, right? You all are very well aware. So they are called air traffic controllers. What do they do? Why do they give instructions to the pilot? Pilots are well qualified people. Give me answer one by one. Whoever will raise hand, they will get the mic to answer. Anyone from the girls' side? Huge number. So that's very nice. That's very nice. Okay. So the middle picture is the picture of air traffic control tower. It is the picture of air traffic control tower. On the left hand side you can see an aeroplane. On top left corner you can see an airplane. And a girl, you can see a girl sitting just below that aeroplane. That is not pilot, that is air traffic controller. And sitting in air traffic control tower, telling aircrafts what to do, where to go, how to go, when to land, and when not to go. Everything. Pilots can fly the airplane, of course. But they cannot fly on their own. They have to be given instructions. They have to get the permission from air traffic controllers to land, take off or move anywhere, here to there. When you go to the airport, you can see that aircraft first go backwards, right? Then it will align and then it will start going slowly, and after some time it will start running faster and then it will take off. Right? All that movements have to be controlled by air traffic controllers. So you have seen two elements, rather three elements. One is airlines. Airlines, then you have seen pilots. Now you have seen air traffic controllers as well, right? Here you can see on the right hand side there is a fighter pilot. Then below that commercial pilots, all ladies. Now this is the typical picture of the airplane, and I think it's not very clear. You cannot see all the parts of the airplane, but there is something called fuselage. The middle big portion is called fuselage, and the top front nose portion is called cockpit. Right? You can see that, or you just know that. Okay, it's cockpit, and cockpit is the place where pilot sits. Right? Fuselage is the place where all the passengers sits, and as well as all your luggage are kept down. Right? Wings, you see wings, but there are a lot many parts in the wings as well. Wings as well as tail. The parts of the wings control the Control the turn of the aircraft. Whether how it will turn, and whether it will slide like this. These all things are controlled from the parts which are there on the wings. We will not go into the technical, but just know that from the tail we can control the pitch of the aircraft. Pitch. There is one video for takeoff. Actually, it has to be run from the
Planes take off. Airplanes are extremely heavy and weigh over 400,000 pounds. Pilots must align the airplane with the runway and make sure they have enough space to take off. But while holding down the plane's brakes, the pilots increase the engine power until they are at the required speed for takeoff. But once the speed is met, the pilots stop braking and the plane starts to move. The liftoff is the craziest part though. The plane's wings are what allows it to actually lift off the ground. The wind above the wing moves faster than the air below the wing. This creates low pressure above the wing and high pressure below, which ultimately lets the airplane take off and fly away.
So, in future, some of you will become pilot. Some of you will become air traffic controller. But some of you may become aeronautical engineer. So you must know few principles how aircraft fly. They are of course heavier than air. So what principle applies for them to fly?
Can anyone tell?
Yeah, give Mike to him. He's sitting behind his laptop. Pressure difference. Pressure difference, right? How that pressure difference is being created?
And because of the speed of the wind.
Yeah, right. Speed of the wind. Wings of the aircraft are designed in such a way that air flows with higher speed over the wings. So pressure above the wings are being reduced and below the wings are being increased. Because of that, a lift is generated and planes can fly. Right. So you know you all are very smart. Excuse me. Will you play landing? Rear wheels touches first. Rear means the wheels behind, set of wheels which are behind that, those wheels touch first, and aircrafts are designed in such a way that they will not hit the ground if that happens. What if the nose wheels touches first? Crash first. That is simple. By seeing, you can see now the aircraft doesn't come like this, it comes like this. Right? Now this is aviation heat. See, few of the elements I have is not covered here, but of course airlines. Airlines, you all know, the companies which own the aircrafts. Right? They are called airlines. Then airports. Airports you all know. But that airport is also run by someone, either government or some private entities. What is the airport? It's like train station. Right? Because train can stop and start from a train station only. But trains can stop in between also. But airplanes cannot stop in between. They are flying in the air, they have to land somewhere or take off from somewhere. Right? So, the place from where airplanes takes off and lands are called airports. Airports are also run by someone, some business owner or government. So many people work at the airport also. So you can choose any profession from there also. Then aircraft manufacturers. There are basically nowadays two companies which makes the commercial flights. That is Boeing and Airbus, right? There are many varieties of Airbus. Generally, if you fly with an Indigo, you may be flying Airbus 320. But there are bigger aircrafts also, Airbus 380 and 330, 321, so many. Okay? For Boeing also, if you are flying with an SpiceJet or Akasa Air. Akasa, you heard the airline Akasa Air? They are flying Boeing. Mostly they have the planes which are of Boeing company. Okay? So, they are companies, but many people work in their companies. They are called an aircraft manufacturer. Now, air traffic control. Who keeps your sky safe? Who keeps your journey safe? Who makes you reach your place, destination safely? Without air traffic control, it will be chaos. You know what happened? Afghanistan war when Taliban took place. Recently it happened. At that time, many aircrafts were stuck there, and there was no air traffic control. When pilots were interviewed later, they told that it was really a scary situation. It felt like they were flying blind without any support. By God's grace, some of them reached safely and some of them couldn't. Then CNS is also an entity which it comes under the Airports Authority of India. In Airports Authority of India, there are two departments which deals directly with the aviation. First is air traffic control and second is CNS. CNS full form is Communication, Navigation and Surveillance. So what do they do? You can become a CNS personnel also. What do they do? They provide equipment. They provide equipment which help pilots as well as aircraft to navigate safely. When you drive a car, or you have seen your parents driving the car, sometimes they use GPS navigation, right? GPS navigation to reach to the place, and all of you must have seen it, right? GPS, everyone knows that. So planes also takes the help of GPS, but there should be some receiver at the ground as well. These are getting more technical, I guess, but just understand that these people help planes to navigate safely. Now, maintenance and repair. When any damage happens to a team of number of people who repair the aircraft. Even before flights, engineers has to give okay for aircrafts to go for takeoff. Okay? You must be thinking that sometimes when you are in plane, why it is getting delayed? Why? What happened? What is the situation? Why it is getting delayed? So just understand that it is not for not without reason. It is some reason is there, because plane also they do have time limitation. Pilots have time limitations. They also don't want to delay your flight. Air traffic controllers, ATCs also do not want to delay your flight. There must be some reason. There must be some technical issue with the aircraft. Maybe engineers have not cleared your flight. They have declared that it is not safe for you to fly in that plane. That's why it is getting delayed. Then other supporting infrastructure. Yes.
Cargo base and
Okay. Cargo planes are nothing but they can just simply they carry cargo. They will not have seats. They will not have windows, and they will carry cargo. But in emergencies, they can carry passengers as well. And in emergencies, sometimes your passenger planes also fly like cargo planes. So it is just like that. They are made especially for that purpose. Like FedEx is there, then Lufthansa Cargo is there, and then your Blue Dart is there, right? They are cargo flights, and you will see very few windows there. Like if you see the picture of a plane, there are not many windows, but in cargo planes there will be very few windows. Okay, and there won't be any seats. Okay, cargo will be there. So that is the difference. Not material. There is no difference in flying principle. Okay. Then supporting infrastructure. Yes.
Ma'am, what is the role of flaps? Flaps.
What is the
Role of flaps in plane.
flaps?
Yes.
Flaps are used for many purposes. Flaps will also give you. Flaps also helps plane to turn, and it also helps plane to reduce the speed. There are not many other parts which are used along with flaps to a particular job.
Ma'am, what are nautical miles?
Nautical miles are like you use kilometers, right? So kilometer is a unit of distance. Same way, nautical mile is also unit of distance.
What's the difference between knots and nautical miles?
Knots means speed. Speed means when you say kilometer per second or kilometer per hour. My car average is some 500 kilometers per hour. Suppose. So knots means aircraft is flying with the speed of 450 knots. Nautical miles per hour.
What's the intake speed required for plane to take off?
That differs with each aircraft. For some, it may be 130 knots. For some, it may be very like smaller aircraft. It is required very less for takeoff. It depends on the plane. Yeah.
what is the safety systems provided in the passenger aircraft when it is right? Just like if something happens in between the flight, what is the pilot's role?
Pilots do their job. They will try to keep the aircraft at such a speed or such a level so that everyone is safe. But in between inside the plane, inside the fuselage where passengers are seated, cabin crew helps them. And you are also briefed before flying itself that what are the things you are required to do in case of any emergency. You have to keep your seat belts on. If you are not keeping your seat belts on, and suppose the plane door pops off, then what will happen? You may, because it is flying with very high speed and the pressure, air and everything is so different that you will be just thrown away from the plane. So you have to keep your seat belts on. In case of pressurization failure, the mask will come out and you have to breathe through the mask. Oxygen will be there. Okay?
Like if there is a power failure where no electrical components are working, or like there are full electricity and power
Coal is not very common. Yeah.
It's all of them or three or two or three, then what the participants.
They have been given a special training in case of these things happen. Engine failures or two engine failures, then what they are supposed to do. If one engine is failing, then what they are supposed to do. If three are failing, then what? And if only one is left. So at what level they have to fly? At what speed they have to fly? And at what is the safest distance they can cover to land or reach the nearest airport? They will try to reach the nearest airport to land the aircraft if only one engine is flying. Suppose all engines are gone, then also they have been trained to do something to keep the plane safe. But of course, a casualty happens. I don't think so. If all engines fail, it is really difficult situation for a pilot. It's like a nightmare for them as well as for passengers. So there is no. If all engines fail, then there is no backup.
As you said, there is some for different planes and there is no power supply in plane. A backup battery is really plane to kind of the important electrical system of the plane.
It is given, but if engines fail, then how they are going to fly?
Taking like flaps on
With flaps only. It's not that easy. If all engines fails, it's very difficult for a pilot or anybody to make the aircraft land safely. But have you seen the movie Sully? The actual case of Hudson River landing. Have you not seen? You see the movies on Netflix, I guess. Sully. That is a very good movie and it will give you a clear picture of it. NOTAM is a something called its full form is Notice to Airman, and it is like something is not right at your airport or with your system. Suppose you have runway, but the lights are not working because runway have lights, right? If lights are not working, in that case, they have to take a NOTAM. Suppose something is bad, some taxiways are not available or some runways are not available, they have to inform it to all the concerned people, including pilots. So they have to take a NOTAM. It's like a caution, or you can say any work is going on or anything, they have to take a NOTAM. There are different categories and it is like a notice that the system is not working, it is not normal, you have to fly accordingly.
All activities which you are doing in the flight, all the communication will be recorded there and it will not be damaged in case of crash. Okay. And with the recovery of black box only, you can investigate. Okay.
Now what will happen if Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, good morning, ma'am, and thank you for giving me a chance to ask my question. As you said, in the case of fuel leak, the pilot has to land an emergency landing at the end of the airport. But in the legal situation where we are stuck in the sky, no fuel left, and there is no way that has an airport around us. So what is a pilot expected to do at that time?
See, pilots are expected to fly the plane safely and make as much use of the leftover fuel as much so that they can reach the aircraft at so that they can land the aircraft safely at any airport. If suppose that is not happening, then it is really a bad luck.
I also have one more question. As you told that air traffic controllers are most essential while traveling from here to the other location. Due to some technical problem, the pilots lose connection from the air traffic controller towers. So what is that situation? What can it be?
Yeah, right. So that situation is called radio communication failure. How do you expect pilots to talk with the air traffic controllers? Because mobile networks are gone as soon as you take off. So there is something called very high frequency, and pilot talk on those frequencies. Different frequencies are given to the different stations, and pilot has to channel those frequencies to talk with the concerned air traffic controllers. As soon as they crosses the area of one particular air traffic control, they will switch to the another air traffic control. Suppose they are not able to talk with the air traffic control due to any reason. In that case, they have been given a particular procedures to follow, and air traffic controller will also know that that aircraft is not able to talk, because air traffic controllers have all the flight plans and all the information about the incoming flight. If at all they give a call and they see that this aircraft is not replying, this pilot is not replying to my call, they will understand that there is some technical problem happened, and aircraft will follow that certain procedure which has been defined for radio communication failure. So that is not a big issue, they will land safely.
चल रहा है
अभी चलने लगा है।
Morning, ma'am. My question was related to what is airspace closure? Like, in the recent cases of Indo-Pak War, we have seen that Pakistan closed its airspace for Indian flights to fly over it. So, what does it mean? Is there any special right for country to do that?
Yeah, they can do it. They can do it, and especially in case of war, you have seen that these things are very common. And airspace closures happens for many reasons. Of course, you have mentioned this war thing, but it happens due to many other reasons. Suppose there is not proper facilities which are required for that airspace, and that facilities are gone due to some reason. That airspace will be closed. Suppose flood happened. In past year, I have seen that in Chennai flood happened. So air traffic controller was not able to be on its place. So what happened? That they had to close the airport as well as the airspace, or somebody else will take care. If they are not taking care, then airspace will be closed. Again, this is Pakistan's air traffic control's decision that they will not allow Indian flights to cross their airspace. So they have closed their airspace, means we cannot go there. If we go there, they may shoot us. That type of things happens. Yeah.
Is it connected with something like ATCs? It closes ATCs, so they are not able to connect.
This can happen if suppose if they will close the ATC, then no flights will be allowed. But they had denied only Indian flights, right? So that means ATC is working fine, but only Indian flights are there.
Center by fuel, not electricity. You cannot go for long distance.
Because of shortage of time, we'll move ahead. Now, pilots. You all know that pilots fly your airplane and it makes you land and take off safely, reach your destination safely. Right? And what do you have to do to become the pilot? First of all, you have to study. You all have to study and concentrate in your studies regardless of what you want to be, pilot or anything. Okay? So, for pilots, a 12th degree is required. 12th, you have to pass the 12th grade, and after that, you have to go through certain examinations. There are medical fitness also required. You have to get the student pilot license. Student pilot license is same as like student driver's license. When you are 18, you will be getting student's driver's license, right? And then what will you do? You will drive the car along with your father or mother, right? And after that, you are proficient enough, then you will be given an actual license. Same thing happens with the student pilots. To become pilot, you have to first get the student's pilot license and your driver's license. Who gives you driver's license? RTO office. Same way here, DGCA, Director General of Civil Aviation. That is the regulatory body of civil aviation in India. Everyone has to go through the norms and regulations depicted by DGCA. All the aviation personnel, all the civil aviation personnel. They are not for military, that is only for civil aviation. So DGCA controls all the licensing part. So they will be issuing student pilot license for the pilots, and after that they have to fly some hours with an actual pilot, with an already licensed pilot. Then they will get the license. They will, of course, they have to give an exam. There is nothing, you cannot get anything without giving any exams. Now, cabin crew. Cabin crew also, requirement is 12th. You have to pass the 12th with good marks, and then you have to join some academy which gives the training of cabin crew. Cabin crew is also crucial. When you fly in the airplane, they only help you with all your needs. They only guide you in case of something unwanted, unforeseen happens, then what you are supposed to do. Right? So, that is the requirement of cabin crew. And cabin crew is also regulated by DGCA. DGCA, clear hai sabko? What is DGCA? That is the regulatory body. For every department there is one regulatory body in India. Right? Same way for aviation, regulatory body is Director General of Civil Aviation. Then air traffic controllers. For air traffic controllers, you have to be graduate in science. So, your qualification requirement is more to become an air traffic controller than pilots. Then what is easy? To become pilot or to become air traffic controllers? Nothing. Nothing is easy. You have to work hard to get to be anything. Then aeronautical engineer. For that simply you have to study aeronautical engineering. And you have to study well to get the job or convince people that you are a good engineer. Right? journey, what you are supposed to do? First, focus on science and mathematics. Because if you want to go in aviation, you want to become a pilot or air traffic control or engineer, you must focus on science and mathematics. Because to understand the Bernoulli's principle, you must learn it first, right? Then, become a good problem solver. Like many of you have asked the question, if that happens, then what pilots will do? If that happens, then what ATC will do? Then that you have to decide. Once you have been qualified as pilot or air traffic controller or engineer, you have to decide what you are supposed to do in that situation. Although aviation is all about predictions, everything is written that in case of this, you have to follow this. In case of that, you have to follow this. But sometimes it is necessary to think out of the box and navigate through the procedures to keep your journey safe. Practice talking and listening. Essential part of the of being an aviation personnel, you must be able to talk and listen carefully. Talking is very essential part. In fact, pilots and ATCOs, they talk in a different language. Of course, base is English, but it is not actual English. If you will hear it, you may think that what is happening, they are talking in some code words. Have you heard the conversation of ATCOs ever? ATC and pilot ever? You have heard? You can make up few things, but not all things. Because base is English, so of course there will be English words, but meaning can be different. Stay curious about aviation. For you. You are curious, that I know, so you have fulfilled one requirement at least. Till now, you have a long way to go, and I wish you all the very best for your aviation journey. Thank you.
एक विमान है धातु की चिड़िया जो आसमान में करती है उड़ान. Sir, ma'am, it's great that you joined us here today. You told our children about aviators, pilots, cabin crew, instructors, controllers, aerospace engineers. In upcoming days, we will delve into various aspects of aviation, that is, women. At this event, we have explored the various procedures and principles regarding the taking off and landing of airplanes and division of aviation team. So I thank you all. I'm honored to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this event a remarkable success. To the organizers and speakers, thank you for your tireless efforts. To our attendees, our scholars, your enthusiasm and engagement have made this event truly special. Cheers to the future of aviation. Thank you, and let's get started on this exciting journey. Thank you all.